level in the high school. And you know that we dropped French 5 this
Right.
year because of, or the AP rather, because of enrollment. So I'll let you know that the French in grade 8, or grade 7 this year, there are 30 students, approximately 30, 31. So those students will go into taking Spanish. And in 8th grade, there are about 42 classes, about 40 to 42 students taking French in the 8th grade.
It still would be a class over 30, well, over 30.
Right. Right. So we actually, by eliminating 2 positions as from the middle school and the high school, I think we still would have sufficient numbers of teachers to teach Spanish, but keeping it at 30.
Pretty high class level, pretty high class level.
Right. So that's what I'm putting out there for discussion.
Were there any other areas that you considered for even 15 seconds that you want to run by us, or this was pretty much, when you looked at everything, this is what you came down to?
This is what I came down to.
I'm concerned with eliminating business classes
Right.
at the high school, because we tend to be a college prep high school, and we don't have a very large business education department, and there are students that really need that.
The area that would be the entry-level courses, and we would expect students to take those courses either on their own or somehow test out. Speaking of the basic, what's called Microsoft Office, which is the basic keyboarding.
And Excel and Word.
With the expectation of students, we're still offering that as part of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade rotation.
Right.
We're not pulled back yet from that.
We heard a student tonight say that she's going to do a PowerPoint presentation, and if those students were expected to learn those skills on their own.
Well, they're expected to learn those skills in the middle school.
PowerPoint presentation,
Yeah,
and
they-
we have a full computer rotation still existing
Yeah.
in the middle school?
My biggest problem with this is every single cut in the teaching area is aimed at the 2 biggest problem areas we have, which is the middle school and the high school.
Absolutely.
And while I can empathize with not wanting to have larger class sizes at the elementary school, I can't accept all of these cuts aimed at only those levels. I just don't think we can do that.
Well, it is over the 400. This totals 488,000.
Well, it's less than that, because the 35,000
Oh, the
for the athletic
35,
fees
you're
reduces
correct.
it down to 453.5.
Right.
So
So
we
it's
can
basically one position.
Right, it's one position that we can bring back, and I just think that if we ever had to live within this budget, which we all hope we don't, I think we have to share the pain a little more evenly.
I think it's kind of a lot I know, David, you started at the bottom up, and so just to hit on some of them, to reduce the workload of the assistant principal here at the middle school, would you be able to get someone that would work less than full-time? I mean, these
Yeah,
people
it would be-
support families.
It would be summer drop in summer work here.
In combining the secretary, it sounds like, sure, you should do that, but at the same time, we're talking about increasing the special ed load, but reducing the support staff, so. And if we reduce the custodian, that means that youth sports, we're gonna hear from them, because gyms are gonna be offline, afternoons and evenings. So, and those are the ones that are more palatable. And I don't see how they can actually happen. So, I don't know.
after 4 positions at the high school. I'm not sure how many teachers are at the high school. I'm gonna toss out the number 80, because I think it's in the right ballpark. 4 is 5% of that. It means you're talking about increasing class sizes everywhere else 5%. As well as reducing these programs. Frankly, we're being pushed into a 1950s kind of education, where the class sizes are gonna be so great that only the students with the greatest aptitude are going to thrive, and we're not going to be able to reach out to the rest of the students. That was unacceptable in the 50s, but people didn't recognize that. Now, it's completely unacceptable because we realize what we'll be condemning those students to.
No jokes.
And yet at the same time, we're talking about doing that while removing the programs that some of the students rely on to sustain their interest in the schools. We've already acknowledged the detriment that losing the art and music programs or having them cut back in the lower levels is causing, not only to the programs, the music program and instrumental programs, but to the students who don't have those breaks. And we've got the same kind of issue on a larger scale at the middle school, where we're seeing the beginnings of disciplinary issues that we're not accustomed to seeing in North Reading. And this is not to criticize you, because this is an untenable situation. This is, you've been asked to come up with a budget that would fit within what somebody at Town Hall thinks is a fair number for the schools. I have grave reservations about how the prospective budgets have been put together. I've asked Carl if he could find numbers from the April town meeting warrant, because I think that warrant outlined how much was expected to be spended at that time on schools and how much on local government. And I don't think those are the numbers that you're going to see in the revenue estimates as the basis for budget growth. Now, does that warrant have those numbers? I think if you look right at the end of the omnibus article, you'll see a breakdown by functional, major functional area. Are we in there at 20,701,242?
Yes, we are, although it's not shown as such because the way the warrant is printed, it also includes the town's payment to Northeast Vocational Regional.
Oh, in that total?
Within
Okay,
our
but if you
total.
back that out.
Back that out,
okay.
it balances.
And then on the town government side, can you, I know there are a couple of lines in there that they break things out.
Trying to figure out the way they have it here.
General benefit, 17,620.
Yeah, see that, but then you got another 11 million here, so that
Yeah.
includes all the costs before getting to the various departments.
Water,
Yeah.
I'm gonna back out some enterprise funds.
Maybe we can't do this on the spur of
Right,
the moment.
right
Maybe
now.
I need to get the warrant
Yeah.
and start pulling it apart. But what the next page is showing in last year's total budget includes a great deal of money from free cash. And that free cash, we're told again and again by the finance committee, is only to be used for one-time things. So all of those one-time things should be backed off, and we should be heading and looking back at the April budget. And when people start talking about percentage increases, it should be from that April budget, not from the October. And I think that would lead to a different distribution of the available revenues at this point. The other thing I really want to know is why, if the Chapter 70 increase was roughly 600,000? Seven?
Close to 700,000?
Well, the total increase was over 800,000.
Oh,
The
right,
increase
well,
in the
right.
budget.
It's 500 something thousand, 565, I think.
Why our situation didn't improve that much. The 50,000 that was talked about on the Medicaid hardly justifies the 100.
There was a reduction, I think, in some lottery distribution funds, so I think. the
But that
overall
should be on
picture-
their side,
I
that's their.
understand, I understand, but as I said to Diane, I think what
And I'm
happens
not
is
sure we're gonna lose that money.
The
It
money's
depends
coming
on
in.
whether the casino is approved. So, we shouldn't be making up that difference. That's, traditionally, it was sort of recognized that increases or decreases in Chapter 70 went to the schools, and increases or decreases in lottery went to the town. And
what happens if it works the other way around next year.
we live with it.
Just to make it clear, there was a budget shortfall of $1,130,000. Town has, what we were told in the Finance Planning Committee, has cut $184,000 from their budget already. And I'm not gonna go into the details, but they've also made some significant cut proposals for other departments on the town side that would bring that up to another, $300,000 or $400,000, somewhere between $300,000 or $400,000. So basically, what you're looking at is the town saying, if we have to live with available revenues, and this is the worst-case scenario, they would cut approximately $700,000, and they're asking us to cut $400,000
Right.
from level services budget.
Ah.
So,
And some of theirs is in proposed increases in fees.
right,
It's not that they have room in their budget to cut, they're gonna propose
right.
fee increases.
They're gonna propose fee increases to make up for not supporting with tax dollars in certain areas.
When we talk about rolling back all of the one-time expenses, though, it should
No,
make a difference in the appearance of the budget.
It should, we need to have those numbers though, to present to the
So-
finance plan.
So the bad news then, though, is even if we found additional revenues, or even if the revenue figures were better than what we think they are, we're gonna get, based on that formula, probably less than 40% of whatever revenues we find, right? If the town's cutting 700,000, we're cutting 400,000. I would
You could-
assume
right.
that if another million came in, or another $500,000 came in, we're only gonna get 40% of that, a benefit by 40%. So even
Not nec-
optimistically, if there are additional revenues, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
I don't know
fought-
if they roll back the fee increases, they might be part of it.
But what I'm saying is that if we do find money, I mean, we can't reasonably expect with those figures for the town to be coming up with additional money so
Right.
that they can transfer it to our side of the
I
budget.
think that's
under those
probably,
circumstances.
right, I think that's probably right.
Like,
Because the 700,000 being cut on their side is a far larger percentage of their budget than the 400,000 is on our
That's
side.
my point.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to, we don't have to vote tonight, but we need to give David some direction. I guess, as I said, I'm not comfortable with making all of these cuts at the middle school and high school level.
You had asked her, before, Mel, whether there were other things that, I wanted to put out on the table or have even remotely thought about it. And I talked earlier in the budget season about smart reorganization, and some of these things we'll probably end up doing anyway.